Hi guys, it's Biddy Penny. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here to share some more not too shabby inspiration, and right now I'm showing you the fall box of the month. Well, it was the September box of the month and it's fall themed, autumn vibes. It did sell out, but I wanted to show you what comes in each box because if you've been on the fence about subscribing because you keep missing the boxes, they sell out the day they're released. Don't miss October. It is amazing. So this is a typical not too shabby box. It comes with 3 stamp sets that are 4x6. It comes with 2 paper pads. Sometimes it comes with a stencil and 2 stamp sets, so it's not always 3 stamp sets because you might get a stencil and like a special sequin mix. It's just always a surprise. It's always beautiful. I think you would really enjoy it. Okay, so I am grabbing each paper pad and I am going to show you guys. I'm revisiting one of my own hacks, you guys. I made a video like 11 months ago, I can't believe it, about mini trifold slimlines, also Slimline Trifold. I will leave that video linked down below in the description box because you're going to want to see it if you haven't seen it yet. All right, I have 2 sheets of paper in here, and on the 8.5 side, I cut it to 6. So now I have a sheet of paper that is 6 by 11. This is my card base paper, and I'm using 65-pound weight paper because I'm going to do so much layering. I don't want a super heavy card base because it's just kind of almost too much. This hack is amazing for using up your 6x6 paper pads, you guys. So I'm scoring at 3 1/4 and 6 5/8. Okay, so I have each just 1 sheet of paper in here because that's going to give me the best score. So let me bring in the other one. Again, I'm scoring at 3 1/4 and 6 5/8. This is making my mini Slimline Trifold base. Okay, so I'm going to now fold my card base, and you can see there's a residual amount of paper that sticks out that does need to be trimmed off. So I'm going to trim that off of each one of my bases. I didn't do the best job there, so I'm bringing on my scissors. And then I'm going to burnish my lines. You really want to do that, your score lines, because you want these mini trifolds to fold as well as possible. Now, I think the not too shabby paper is a wonderful paper choice for this card design because there's some scenes that are already on the paper pads. And I really like this design when you have just gorgeous paper and you don't want to cut it up. Okay, another 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. This time I'm trimming it at 5 3/4. You need to do that on the 8.5 side, and you need to do it first. Okay, you've got to follow the order here, or else you'll have to use extra paper. That piece right there is the only thing that you're not going to use. Now for that piece, that first piece we trimmed off, we're going to go ahead and cut that down to 5 3/4 as well. Okay, so we should have 4 panels that are 5 3/4, and 3 of them will be by 3 inches when you cut down your matted card. So now I'm going through and I'm picking out, see there's a beautiful scene, which I already have, and then I'm picking out some other patterns, but this paper pad is perfect for this type of card because I like the inside of the trifold to kind of have a scene going on. This piece here was just a scrap, but our pattern paper needs to be cut down to 5 1/2 by 2 3/4. Okay, so our mats need to be cut down to 3 by 5 3/4, and our paper pad, our pattern paper, needs to be cut down to 2 3/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, so see my little scene there? That piece of paper is going to be my 2 inside panels. And then I had the skinny piece, right? So the skinny piece measured 2 3/4 by 5 3/4. And now I'm cutting my pattern paper down. So you only need one piece of pattern paper that's cut to 2.5 by 5.5. This may just be a whole lot of numbers for you guys. I get it. I'm going to write it down in the description, as well as I'm going to link my other video so you can see what I did that day as well. Both videos, this one and that one, are really informative. So if you like this style, watch them. Okay, I have directional paper here, so I want to really pay attention. I cut it to 5.5 first, and now when I cut it to 2 3/4, I know that all of my little fall icons will be upright. So this one I'm cutting down to 5.5. This is my inside seam, and then I'm cutting it to 2 3/4. I need to do that twice so that I have 2 panels. Okay, you guys. So now it's time to assemble. The first thing I'm going to do is just glue all my paper, my pattern paper, to my matted layers. So that's what I'm doing here. This is the skinny panel. And it's actually quite amazing how little scraps you'll have left over. I had a few left over that I still knew I could use. Like I could have used my skinny strips, the 1/2 inch strips. I could put those on my envelope. I could put them on the back of the card. I used some on the inside of the card. You could definitely easily use up all the scraps. And even from your 8.5 by 11 colored cardstock, you're going to have just one piece left over. So it's a really great use of paper. And I think the design, the overall design, is just very effective and elegant and beautiful. So now I've got my scenes. I like to separate them on these 2 panels. And then in the center panel, I have a place to write my message. On this flap here, I glued the skinniest panel of them all. And then on the front, this example I'm going to show y'all with a piece of ribbon. So I grabbed some sari silk from my stash, and I am going to put some on here because I'm going to put a bow closure for this particular one. You'll see in my other 2 examples, I didn't use a bow closure, but it is a really a kind of next level effect, I think, for these cards. It's like unwrapping a gift. It's just really beautiful. So I held my ribbon in place with some double-sided tape and then glued my panel on top. And now I'm just showing you it closes beautifully, and it's just really sweet detail to add to these cards. All right, now we're not done with this. When you cut your side panel, the skinny one that is, what is it? It's 2 3/4 by 5.5. You'll have one piece that's shorter than the other. So this is the shortest piece. I'm going to put it down. You can tell it's a little lower than my top mats. And now I'm bringing in a piece of the pattern paper that's a scrap, and I'm kind of building out the center panel. And it's beautiful. It's lovely. It doesn't look like you're trying to use up your paper scraps. It looks like a design that was intended, right? So I did use this stamp set quite a bit today. This is called Fall Sentiments, and it was a part of the box. I checked, you guys, it's sold out. Jamie had a couple left over. If you missed the box, if you can't subscribe to the box, I understand. Sometimes Jamie has a little bit left over, but it's usually just a couple of items, so you'll want to get on it early. So here I'm fussy cutting out the sentiment, and then I'll end up gluing that down along with a piece of ephemera. This is the front of the card. And then I pulled a couple of other pieces of ephemera to finish up the inside of the card. I liked stamping that sentiment on white paper and fussy cutting it out because it kind of matched the ephemera piece. I love the sweater and boots and socks. I love these fall icons. I just think they're super fun. And I liked that these ephemera pieces are bigger. It just kind of ties that paper together. It's just beautiful. This sweater is so lovely. I would wear that sweater. Okay, the great thing about this is you don't have to go ephemera crazy. In fact, you don't have to have ephemera at all. The paper is so lovely that you really don't have to have the ephemera, but I do think like this leaf ties these two pieces and design together nicely. I have 3 cards to show you guys. I started to look at this and was like, it's really pretty, but it'd be more beautiful if I added some magenta sunset to it from This Calls for Confetti. So I grabbed my confetti and it made all of the cards even more fabulous in my opinion. This particular mix is phenomenal. I keep trying to capture it on camera. You'll see I keep trying, but it's very hard to capture exactly how beautiful it is. It has like purple and red and orange. It's just magical. I'm going to add it to all of my cards. And on this one, I added 5 dots on camera. And when you weren't looking, I added 2 more. And I actually really like how it complements the clusters and the pattern of things. It's hard to capture, again, on camera just how beautiful this is. But in person, these little dots of color just take everything to the next level. The sparkle is amazing. So for me, this really did finish off the cards. So let's look at them now. Now they're done. I really loved the illustrations in this kit. It's just so much my style. I really, really like them a lot. I loved the colors. I love the pop of that magenta, that with the orange. Oh, it's just lovely. I used a leftover strip inside there. You saw that for this area where you'll write your message. So you can use a strip there. And then here's the one where we have the tie. And I do love it with the bow. You know, of course, it probably maybe might cost you more to ship it, or you might have to put it in a slightly larger envelope. I'm not sure because this is one that I would hand deliver and I might not even put it in an envelope. I'd put it in a gift bag or a different kind of envelope, like a glassine bag. So here is the inside. You could certainly even add more to these cards, but I think the beauty of this hack is that you don't have to do a lot. Like, you have gorgeous pattern paper. Sometimes it's so gorgeous you don't even want to cut it. This, to me, is a fun way to use that kind of paper pad. This paper is actually from Jamie's paper subscription, and this one's called Autumn Rain. It also came with dots for fall. And then I use these sentiments again from the Fall Sentiment stamp set. I put a warm, cozy hello on the outside. And then on the inside, I put autumn wishes. I thought it was perfect because it had like the cloud with the heart raindrops. And this is kind of a rain-themed autumn rain paper pad. These paper pads are still available, and as well as the Autumn Vibes paper pad. I'll show it to you real quick. I did check this one. There's a couple left. So I will leave the link down below for Not Too Shabby. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you'll go make some trifolds.